it's Denise with Pampered Chef, and I am making some no knead bread. And basically, because we are out now with the virus going on and not going to the store, practicing social distancing. So this one I picked because I had all the ingredients again, and it's no knead, so you don't have to worry about using anything to knead the bread. So we're going to just start with 3 cups of flour. So I'm using just regular flour. Some recipes will call for bread flour. This is just all-purpose flour. And I'm using the the measuring cup with where you just scrape it off. And that's how you measure out like flours. You don't want to tap it in there. You want it to be nice and loose. And you don't want to pack it in there. Recipes are generally designed to be real loose in the flours and sugars. Okay, so I've got 3 cups of flour. Then we're going to add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of a seasoning or rub. And this one's going to be kind of a savory type of bread. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of the rosemary herb seasoning mix. And then it takes 1 teaspoon of yeast, and I am doing quick rise or fast acting yeast. And that basically just means it doesn't take quite as long for your bread to rise. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Just give this a little quick mix. Okay, and then we're going to add in 1.5 cups of water. And again, just kind of mixing it up with 2 tablespoons of oil. So water in, and then 2 tablespoons. I'm going to use the garlic infused canola oil. Again, just adding some more of that savory richness. You can use just regular oil or olive oil as well. I really like the garlicky richness of the savory bread. Okay, so then we're just going to mix this up. It's going to be kind of sticky. We're going to be using our quick cooker to help with our fast rise of our dough. The quick cooker it's our pressure cooker, has a function called proof on it, and it's not going to come to pressure at all like our other recipes generally in a pressure cooker. But what it will do is it will bring the dough to the perfect temperature that it needs to proof or rise. That oftentimes is about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. So we want this to double in size. If after 30 minutes it's not doubled, I can just add in more time. Before we do that, we're going to oil. This looks pretty good. It's kind of sticky. So we're going to take our ceramic pot, and this is an item that was made especially for the quick cooker, so that way it fits perfectly in there. It's also oven and microwave safe, so you can use it in a lot of different ways. Okay. And what we're doing here is just so this, as it rises, the dough doesn't stick to the side of the pan. We're just going to plop that in there. Okay. We're going to put the cradle underneath, so that way it's easier to get in and out. And there's no need to put any water in it because, like I said earlier, that's not coming to pressure. So no need. Get it? No need, no need. No knead bread. I crack myself up. Okay, so then we're just going to move the dial over to proof, and hit start. I'll be back. Okay, I just took it out of the quick cooker. It did take a few sessions. It was probably about 2 hours or so. And now I'm gonna let it do that second rise. So I'm gonna take it out of here and kind of put it on my mat with some flour and roll it around a little bit. Don't have to knead it a whole lot, but just kind of, you're basically kind of working it over a little bit. Kind of what's happening is the dough is rising and it's going to need another rise. So we're just kind of getting it to the point where the, I don't know how to say this. It's essentially just kind of getting it back, punching it down. Maybe that's a good thing to say. Okay. Now, I wanted to clean that out because we're going to put it back in and let it do that double rise before we put it in the oven to bake. And I'm actually going to bake it in the deep covered baker, not this one. Although I think this one would work, so I'll see. I might. Haven't decided. Add a little bit more of that oil so that way it doesn't stick too much. Okay. This is going to go back in here to rise again. Okay. Whoa. Again, set it to proof and hit start. Okay, so the second rise is already done. Looks yummy. I have decided I'm not going to take it out of here. I really kind of reread my directions a little bit more carefully, and I want to just bake it right in here. I think it's going to get nice and fluffy, but I'm worried that if I take it out of here, I'm going to reduce that nice rise, and otherwise my bread will be really flat. So the other thing that I could have done instead of using the quick cooker for that second rise was to put it in the oven with some hot, like a little pan of hot water to help with that rise. The oven is already preheated to 450, and I'm gonna just, because it normally calls for using the lid of the of the deep covered baker on there, I'm gonna just put foil so that it doesn't get too brown right away. The other thing that I did underneath the foil is I added a little bit of oil, so that too also will help keep it from sticking. So, oh wow, this looks and smells amazing. I took the foil off the last like 10 minutes, so I had it in for a half hour, took the foil off, and just let it bake. So I'm going to let it rest for about 20 minutes before we even cut into it. Hopefully I can manage to not cut into it, but it looks and smells amazing. So hope that you get your inspiration to try one yourself. It was not that hard. It does take a little time. I'm thinking in the future I might do some of the prepping in the evening, or have some of the prepping in the evening so that it just rises all day or all night on the counter, and then I do it in the morning.